what it might have been.
And I'm thinking he's not a happy camper.
Talk about somebody. Hey, this guy is. Grass.
Yeah, he wanted Jimmy to get out there. He was going to be in his way if he didn't.
Matt Kenseth has the highest starting position of all 7 Las Vegas winners, 17th in scoring his 7th Winston Cup victory.
Now, where's Michael going? Yeah.
I think he's just happy to run good somewhere besides Daytona.
I know he is. I know he is. That's cool. But I'd keep an eye on that 48 car because he's hunting. As far as Michael's concerned, he won this race. Look at Jimmy Johnson. He's looking for that 40 car. Here he is down here, buddy. I mean, I'm not trying to incite anything, but he's looking for him, and he's sitting down here. He's hot.
6 races at Las Vegas, and Jack Roush has won 4 of them. 3 of his drivers, 4 wins.
I always wondered how come we didn't do donuts and all that stuff. Our tires were these guys talk about tires. Our tires were too hard. We'd have just tore the man's track up.
They would have thrown off sparks.
Sparks. They'd have been sparking. Watch this.
Here's what happened. Last lap, Marlin inside, Johnson outside.
This was a battle for 8th coming to the checkered flag.
Up. Sterling moves up just enough to get into the left rear, Jimmy. Now, I'll tell you, this man does a whale of a job in that 43 car. And Jimmy does a whale of a job keeping that thing out of the fence. He never lifted out of the throttle.
Let's go on board and see how this unfolded.
But you know, Darrell, we saw that so many times.
That's that is. He never lifts. He stayed in that thing and spun it all the way to the infield to keep it from backing up in the fence. If he'd have locked it down, John Andretti would been in his door.
Okay, we're ready.
Matt Kenseth hits the jackpot in Las Vegas. Steve Burns in victory lane.
And Matt Kenseth congratulating his crew. Matt, you told us the other day your best previous finish in 3 starts here had been 14th, and you weren't happy about that. How did you win here today?
Just an awesome pit crew. You know, we had some turnover over the winter, and these guys are still the world champs. These guys worked really hard to get me out of the pits, and it was key to be out front. You know, seemed like the forwards had trouble keeping up behind, but when we got out front, we could set sail. So it was, I'm pretty excited. I expect to win here, but it's a great day for our DeWalt Ford. I got to thank DeWalt, Ford, Comcast, Smirnoff Ice Triple Black, and Lexan. They've been great supporters, and we're happy to be here.
Matt, what was the turning point today, the key to victory?
Just getting out front, you know, that pit stop where we beat Dale Jr. out of the pits, that was the key. It was, and I stayed out by accident. When I stayed out with Dale Jr., they wanted me to pit, and I stayed out by accident, so that was a big help, actually, because of the way it worked out and, you know, being ahead of the 8 after that pit stop.
Congratulations. Let's go to Matt Yoakum.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. needed a day like this in the points, comes home second. It looked like you were having a lot of fun out there racing with a 15 at the end.
Yeah, we were having good times. Michael and them, man, they ought to be real proud. They did a great job. Congratulations to Matt and Robbie Reiser. They're making a hell of an impact here in Winston Cup. I don't think anybody had any idea they were as good as they are. But
well, what about you and your team today?
Well, we were good. I mean, that's how good we're supposed to be, you know. I mean, we expect that out of ourselves every week, you know. I'm just glad we finally got the results that we know we can produce. So maybe I'll shut a few of the critics up and we can go on to the race next week.
Well, top 5 yesterday as a car owner in the Busch Series and a top 5 today as a driver. To Dick Berggren.
With Bobby Labonte right now, he's talking to Jimmy Makar. You had a good day. Did you have fun out there?
Yeah, I really did. The guys did a great job in the pits, and you know, we got behind there that one time. We took on 4 tires, and you know, it seemed like everything that was happening in front of me. And luckily, I just wasn't involved in anything. But very fortunate that we came out here today with a clean race car. And the guys in the Interstate Battery Chevrolet did a great job and came out with a top 5, a first top 5 in a long time, I'm sure. So it feels good.
Nice job. Jeannie?
This car of Michael Waltrip is still moving, buddy, so we're going to back up here a little bit. I got to ask you what your brother asked at the end of the race here. Where were you going? He thought maybe you were just so happy you won or did so well somewhere outside of Daytona that you were just losing your mind.
Man, when you're a redneck and that grass is inviting. I mean, I wanted to slide through it so bad, and I didn't win. I thought, what the heck? I'll just slide through it anyway. I would like to say, God bless our president. I hope the whole country is behind him and supporting him, praying for him. And, you know, we're united as a country and stand behind the president. I've wanted to say that for a week now. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, you got that out. Just real quick, what about the duel with your teammate here?
Man, I just got too tight. We ran like 4/10 faster than anybody on the first few laps out of the pit, and I knew that was trouble because it meant we were too good then. We needed to be loose then, having to slide sideways and struggle a bit on the early run, and then be good at the end. We got way too tight then. Couldn't do anything with him. Made me mad, though. I wanted to run second, and he come up there and got me.
Oh, well, I guess you settled for third. Congrats, finally cracking the top 10 at Las Vegas. Mike?
Selling parts.
You sure are. You're selling everything.
Matt Kenseth is a winner. A last lap dust-up between Sterling Marlin and Jimmy Johnson sent Chad Knaus reaching for the radio button to talk down his driver after the contact.
Jimmy, calm down a little bit, buddy. NASCAR's got an eye on you here. Calm down, bud.
Again, here's what happened as they raced for 8th place on the final lap. Marlin finishes 8th. Joe Nemechek moves to 9th. Steve Park to 10th. Jimmy Johnson ends up 11th. Welcome back to Las Vegas, where Matt Kenseth celebrates in Victory Lane. Mike Joy with Larry McReynolds and Darrell Waltrip. Darrell, we promised a 2-groove racetrack, a lot of lead changes, an entertaining race. That's what we got.
Oh, it was very exciting, but I got to tell you something. When you take a great driver, put him in a great car, and make 13 and change second pit stops, everybody else is in big trouble, guys.
Larry, the pit crew might not have won it, but boy, they sure helped.
Well, I mean, they've done that so many times. Remember, this is a different group from last week, but he won 5 times last year. Matt Kenseth will be the first to tell you those guys on pit road and Robbie Reiser are the big reason we go to Victory Lane on a pretty regular basis.
All the pre-race talk about the Chevrolets, and it's the Jack Roush team that scores here in Las Vegas for the 4th time. Here's a look at the unofficial order of finish. We'll see you at NASCAR's fastest track next week, Atlanta. Chris?
Thanks. With Jeff Hammond, Chris Myers down here in the Hollywood Hotel. There were 9 cars out of the race. A combined total of wins of those drivers, 184. So that playing havoc with certainly the way that this race played out and the current point standings, which we'll get to in a moment. Matt Kenseth worked on his father's race car for 3 years before starting to drive it. His dad made a deal with Matt, said buy the car, race it for 3 years. When Matt turned 16, he got to drive the car, and he's the hottest driver now in Winston Cup racing. Although current in points, Michael Waltrip, Daytona 500 winner, our points leader after race number 3.
And that's really a strong right there effort by the Michael Waltrip group right there, because again, a lot of times when you win at Daytona 500, you lose a little bit of focus. Not a very good day at Rockingham, but came back today with a solid run. Now he's leading the points.
And we touched on it. Mike mentioned it. Chevrolets came here with a plan. And like DEI at Daytona, Roush Racing, they've won 5 of the last Winston Cup races and 4 of the 6 run at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
We talked about it earlier, the Taurus or the Hare. It looks like right now the Taurus is still rules here at Las Vegas. You see right there Jack Roush in the hat right there. Yep, cat in the hat. They've got some magic here when it comes to Las Vegas, and I don't really know what it's all about. Even though I work for them, they have an understanding as far as, I think, the power plant. I think they really got an engine, good engine combination. Even though Mark Martin had problems, you saw how well that car ran today as far as the 17 and the 97.
Matt Kenseth went off 7-1 the odds, and obviously paid quite well. We hoped and tried to contact Jimmy Johnson and also Sterling Marlin, and that cost Jimmy Johnson pretty much the points lead at the end. That spin out on the last lap.
They were just a little bit busy, I think. They may be going over to the big red truck and have a little conversation about how they need to control their emotions.
All right, and we will be updating next week, certainly the McDonald's drive-through, of course, the pit crews and their involvement, and Michael Waltrip came in, certainly the leader in this, but you heard Matt Kenseth credit his crew, and they've been one of the best pit crews.
We saw once again today how important the pit crew is, and I think this is really a great contest we got going on, and don't be surprised if you don't see Matt's guys start to rally and get up there and be close to Michael Waltrip.
All right, next week, fastest show on earth as the scene shifts to Atlanta. Another full weekend of racing action. Friday, Winston Cup qualifying on FX. Saturday, Winston Cup practice on FX, followed by exciting ARCA Rematch Series racing. That's on the Speed Channel. And then Sunday, start your day with NASCAR this morning, presented by Smirnoff Ice Triple Black. That's on Fox Sports Net, followed by Winston Cup Racing on Fox, presented by Home Depot. Tony Stewart Smoke looking to defend his title in Atlanta. And a good run for Tony Stewart today, finishing 5th in this race as NASCAR returns across the Fox family of networks from Atlanta next week.
And you can see right there that once again, the Roush cars are the champions when it comes to Las Vegas and beating the odds when you come here.
Matt Kenseth making the Midwest proud from Wisconsin. He's won 6 of his last 13 races. A terrific day for Roush Racing, but also DEI, Hendrick Motorsports, and Joe Gibbs Racing, with Tony Stewart and Bobby Labonte finishing in the top 5. A sunny, crisp Las Vegas day greeted the drivers in their 400-mile journey. The focus was there. Jeff Gordon led the first 50 laps. The DEI cars, Earnhardt Jr., Michael Waltrip took over after 100 laps at caution-free racing. There were a number of mishaps, a track record tying 6 cautions, a 7-car bang-up that took out the hometown favorite Kurt Busch. Matt Kenseth of Roush Racing pulled into the lead, and in the city of high rollers, he was the fastest racer. For all of us here, I'm Chris Myers. We'll see you next week in Atlanta.